Assalamualikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyana Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is Muhammad Kamrullah Hussain, Department of Business Administration, Metropolitan University, Sylhet, Bangladesh. Welcome to my MKA classroom. Now let us start today's video tutorial. Today we will start from electronic banking. Now I am try to open my virtual whiteboard. Today's topic is e-banking, or you can call it electronic banking. So before we discussing electronic banking, we are trying to discuss what is banking. If we understand what is banking, then it is easy for us to understand what is electronic banking. First, what is banking? In a simple word, banking means the activities of a bank. Activities of a bank is called banking. That means what a bank does for its earning profit, it is called banking. Simply word. And electronic banking, whenever these activities is done through electronic way, that is called electronic banking. That means all the activities of a bank is done through the electronic ways. That is simply what it is called electronic banking. Now we will see our language of book, electronic banking. Once upon a time, banking means you go to the physically to the bank, draw your check, withdraw your fund by handily touching your cash, etc., etc. Once upon a concept of banking, but nowadays this concept is changing by the development of electronic banking. So this electronic banking has another names or another synonyms, that is e-banking, virtual banking, online banking, PC banking, internet banking, home banking, remote banking, and phone banking. All are related to the electronic banking. Sometimes we call online banking is the electronic banking, or internet banking is the electronic banking. Actually, online banking is simply a small part of a large puzzle. A small part of a large. Online banking is just a small piece of a large puzzle. Now we break down this electronic banking. We have the two components, computers and phones. Generally these are the two mediums which we done this our electronic banking. So in the language of books, electronic banking is a form of banking in which funds are transferred through an exchange of electronic signals rather than through an exchange of cash, checks, or other types of paper documents. Transfer of funds occur between financial institutions such as banks and credit unions. They are also worker between financial institutions and commercial institutions such as stores. That means whenever you purchase, you can use the electronic banking. Whenever someone withdraw cash from an automated teller machine, ATM, or pays for groceries using a debit card, the funds are transferred via electronic banking. So that is a vast concept of electronics banking. Whenever you withdraw your fund from ATM machine, that is electronic banking. Whenever you purchase from grocery shop and pay your bill with ATM card, that's also the electronic banking. So that's from this definition we see that electronic banking relies on computer systems that communicate with telephone lines. This computer system record transfers and ownership of funds, and they control the methods of customer commercial interactions used to access fund. That means whenever you go to the ATM booth, this computer system also record of your transactions whenever you withdraw your fund. A common method of access is by access code such as personal identification number. That means you have a PIN code, PIN number, which will help you to withdraw your fund. These are all the consist of electronic banking. Now we will talk about the evolution of electronic banking. That means how we develop or how the electronic banking develops day by day. Since 1990, e-banking has developed from virtual insignificance to 10 of millions of users worldwide. However, e-banking is a product of different generations of electronic transactions. That means here has also the generations of electronic transactions. As like the computers, it has the generations of electronic transactions. The current web-based internet banking is latest several generations of system. First one, ATM, automated teller machine, phone banking, PC or home banking. Automated teller machine were the first well-known machines to provide electronic access to customers, whereas in phone banking, users call their bank's computer systems on their ordinary phone and use phone keypad to perform banking transactions. So here we see the ATM and phone banking, which also use the computer system. PC banking also as like the phone banking. Whenever you access from your PC at home, it is sometimes called the home banking. After those generations, Deutsche Bank launched a very fast internet banking project in Latin America 1996, and Citibank has developed a special e-toolkit across all its branches worldwide. E-banking uses the web browser for users interface and internet for data transfer and download of software, and so has a potential for reducing maintenance cost. Here is a very important thing that it reduces the maintenance cost for users. E-banking provides current information, 24 hours a day access to bank services. The primary services provided by e-banks are transferring money among one's one accounts, paying bills, checking account balances, loans, brokering loans, brokering shares trading, services, bindings, and a host of other financial services are being added to these primary services. After all, e-banking is now widely used all over the world. Most of the banks in this world are now using electronic banking, almost 100%, and almost 100% in our country Bangladesh. That means every banks are now using electronic banking. Now we will discuss the significance of electronic banking, or you can call it the importance of electronic banking. So this importance can be breakdown: importance for banks, importance for individuals, and importance for business. Now we will try to discuss by importance of electronic banking by banks. That means what its significance, or what's the electronic banking significance for bankers. It reduces transaction cost, reduces margin for human error, it is leisure paperwork, reduced fixed account costs, more loyal customers. These are the significance for banks. Electronic transactions are cheapest modes of transaction, so it reduces the operating cost for the banks. So that's why they like electronic banking. Human error reduces the human error. So you know that, or we know that too, R is human. So whenever human works, so it is a very simple matter to have error. But whenever computer works, it is very possible to reduce error by this electronic banking. If operator is not mistake, then computer also will not make any kind of mistake. So mistake should be done by operator, which is human, not the computers. So since the information is relayed electronically, there is no room for human error. Paperwork, it reduces the paperwork, that means saves the money for the banks. Digital records reduces the paperwork, makes the processes easier to handle. Also it is environment friendly. That is the very important for our banking industries. It is reduces papers, thousands of pages we are stored in a simple piece of chip, which is stored thousands pages of papers. Fixed cost, it reduces the fixed cost. A larger need for branches which transact into a lower fixed cost. So electronic banking also reduces the fixed cost. That means it is not needs too many branches everywhere for their transactions. So it reduces its fixed cost. Loyal customers, since e-banking services are customers friendly, banks experience higher loyalty from its customer because it is easy to handle. Now the significance for customers. Now we are now discussing its the significance or its importance for customer on the sense of customers. Convenience, it is very convenient for customer because he can access all the transactions 24 hours a day and 365 days in a year. That means every time, every moment, these customers can transact with its banking. Lower cost per transactions, but whenever the banking was in paper based, there has more cost, but now banks reduces cost and also cost reduces by the customers per transaction cost. Since the customer does not have to visit the branches every transaction, so it saves both money and time. That is the very important things for customers, that it saves time for customers and also saves for money for customers. No geographical barriers. So that is the another important importance or advantage for electronic banking. That means you have no geographical barriers. You are living in Bangladesh, you can open an account in New York and you can maintain it from your Bangladesh at home. Or in traditional banking it is not possible for maintaining the New York accounts, but it reduces the geographical barriers. So now you can participate with the help of electronic banking in the global banking. Now we will discuss the importance of electronic banking by business. Accounts review, better productivity, lower cost, users error, reduced fraud. These are the benefits for business with the help of electronic banking. Account reviews, business owners and design staff members can access the accounts quickly using an online bank interface. This allows them to review the account activity and also ensure the smooth functioning of the accounts. Better productivity. Electronic banking improves productivity. It allows automations of regular monthly payments and a host of other features to enhance the productivity of business. Lower cost. Usually cost in banking relationships are based on the resources utilized. If a certain businesses requires more assistance with wire transfer, deposits, etc., then the bank charges it higher fees. With the online banking, these expenses are minimized. Lesser error. Electronic banking helps reduces error in regular banking transactions. That is the very advantage of electronic banking. Bad handling, mistaken information, etc., can causes errors in which can provide costly. Also, easy review of account activity enhances the accuracy of financial transactions. Reduced fraud. Electronic banking provides a digital footprint for all employees who have the right to modify banking activities. So that is the very, very important for electronic banking, that all the employees has the digital footprint. So whenever your fund is transferred to any other, who done this, it can be tracked by the bank. Therefore, the business has better visibility into its transactions, making it difficulty for any fraudster to pay mischief. Limitations of electronic banking. Limitations, these are the last topic of this day. Limitations. In spite of gross benefit or huge benefit of electronic banking, there has also some limitations by the handling this electronic banking. So there has some factors which are caused the problem. So first one is problem of security. So previously we have said that it has a better security, but this electronic banking also face the problem of security, because you know that all over the world there has the cyber attack, problem of cyber attack. That means there has some hackers who are always try to hack your bank account. So that has a problem, that is the security problem. And sometimes it is high cost for setting up for the bank industry. So at first introducing setting up is high. So sometimes the bandwidth of internet are very low, so you cannot access to your account. That is another barrier. Sometimes you can forget your password, or you can forget your PIN number, so you cannot access to your account. Then you have to go to the personally the banks. So there has the several drawbacks of electronic banking. Lack of computerizations also the another drawbacks. Sometimes we have, or some banks have a lack of computerizations, or a lack of ATM booth everywhere. So basically these are the gross disadvantages or some limitations of this electronic banking. So this is all about today. You are welcome here, and you are welcome to watch to my next tutorial. Okay, stay safe, stay home, pray to Allah. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaika. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.